allegiance. Place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
Council, successor agency, housing authority, and finance authority.
Any person who wishes to address City Council on any matter on any of the open agendas may do so at this time.
Honorable Mayor and City Council, my name is Fred Sutton. I'm here on behalf of the California Apartment Association. Thank you very much for the clarifications and clarities in the most recent iteration of the Housing Protection Initiative. There's two items I wanted to address briefly.
You're going to have to do that at the end
Oh,
because that's not on the agenda today, so you can do it in the minute at the end.
The one's not, okay.
Wait, hold on. See, you said you think it's on here?
CI1. Correct.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. There's two items in there that I wanted to address briefly. On 611, both in verbal amendments and in the first amended version, there was a 2-year vesting period before for-cause policies applied in relocation. That doesn't appear to be in the most recent draft. We're hoping that was just an error and omission, or if that was City Council direction, just would like clarification at some point on that. We do believe that a 2-year vesting period is appropriate and would fall in line with some of the other cities that have worked to try to mitigate the worst impacts of just cause policies. The second item that's on there is the pass-through ability on capital improvements over $10,000 up to 8% for 2 years is what it basically says right now. We do encourage that the time period be extended on the 8%, or a simple pass-through mechanism for 100% of the capital costs for capital improvements be developed. But as of right now, it's 2 years for 8%.
But however, do you understand that you get to keep, that's a 16% increase over 2 years, and you get to keep that. Right. So that was meant to give you an income stream to borrow against. To extend it on would then make it 24%, and then again would make it 32% on into perpetuity. That would end the tendency of people.
No, absolutely. I'm not saying in perpetuity to recoup the 100% of the cost. So right now, if you're below,
and then you would take all those 8% back and go back to where you were.
No, but if you're right now, the way the ordinance is written, if you're below 80% of market, the most you can bring it up to is 81% of the market. So if you have, for instance, a 10-unit building that's going to cost you $20,000 in roof repair, I mean, maybe we can sit and do the math of what that average bedroom is with 8%, what that would really do to help recoup those costs, and again, incentivize people to engage in these capital improvements. We understand what the council priority is on this, and if that's the direction, we just want to make sure that people are encouraged to invest in their properties. But we understand the position of council if it's to remain 2 years.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is that the extra 8% they get into perpetuity.
Right.
And so they're not going to be left behind in terms of the capital improvement.
Absolutely.
Which is your clarification. I just want to make that clear.
Okay, we'll close public comment. Item 1, CSA 1 and H1.
Warrant register.
Move allow payment of the bills.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
City Council, successor agency, and housing authority members, Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Buds.
Aye. H2.
Monthly Treasurer's Report for the month ending March 31st, 2019.
Receive and file. Housing Authority is open. HPH3.
Matter is a public hearing. Public comments on the Inglewood Housing Authority fiscal year 2019 annual plan.
Has the notice of this hearing been given in the time, form, and manners required by law? And do you have the affidavit on file?
Has been given, an affidavit is on file.
Have any communications been received on this matter?
No communications have been received.
Is there a staff report on the matter?
Housing manager will give the staff report.
Ms. Sanford, welcome. Hello. Welcome, Ms. Sanford. We're waiting for your report.
Comments about the ordinance that came through from participants on the Section 8 program with regards to
Pull the
the
microphone
increase-
closer to you, so.
with regards to the rent increase ordinance. So we had a lot of questions with regards to that, and pretty much that was basically it.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the public? Okay, we'll close public comments. Thank you, Ms. Sam. Oh, wait a minute, we have someone.
I'm here because pretty much I understand the gentrification thing that's been going on, but I just want to say that it's been extremely difficult for me to be able to find a place and to also be able to go around and just be in a general public without being harassed daily. I mean, not just daily, but all day. I mean, people are driving by where I live, wherever I'm coming out to, wherever I go to the store. I got the pleasure of meeting.
You must be a mayor.
I
Go
had
ahead.
I had the pleasure. I was gonna say I had the pleasure of meeting you when I was at Planet Fitness, but I've been ran out of there, so I don't even go to the gym anymore.
Oh my.
But I'm saying this to say that it has taken a very big toll on not just my health, but my physical too. And I don't like the fact that I feel discriminated against like this, because honestly, I know it has to come from a higher place than just everybody driving by me, pressing their phones and doing whatever. I'm not a schizo.
Okay.
And I'm sure everybody knows what's going on. It's been very difficult for me to find a place. I have to be out of my place by the 5th. I don't even have anywhere to go. I've been in my place for 8 years. And all of a sudden, I can't even move around without the public all in my face. I mean, everywhere I drive. A matter of fact, just last week, I had a car turning the same time I'm turning and hit the side of my granny's car. I mean, it's just really just starting to be just obnoxious. And it's like, I know somebody has to have some kind of control over this where it's accepted. And I just feel discriminated against. I feel very, very hurt that I'm in the city of Inglewood, which I pretty much love this city, the city of the champions, and this is the way I get treated. I mean, it's terrible. And I didn't come here with no negative energy. I came here to say how I truly feel about the situation that's going on. And it's absolutely wrong. And I just really don't understand why it's being done to me. But I will say this, for whatever the reason is, there is no way and no right to be discriminated against the way I have. And this has been going on for the last 2 years.
Thank you, sir. Okay, with that, we'll close public comment. Move adoption of the annual plan.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Housing Authority members, Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Padilla. Aye.
Morales. Franklin.
Aye.
Chairman Butts.
Aye. Consent calendar items 2 through, did you say 13? 2 through 13.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members, Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales. Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye. SPH 1.
Staff report requesting that a public hearing be set to schedule delinquent refuge and sewer accounts for the direct property tax assessment.
Move 1 through 3.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members, Dotson. Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. Set the public hearing for any protests on July 23rd, 2019 at 2 p.m. A1.
Thank you, Mayor. We had a closed session regarding an anticipated litigation. As to that matter, a discussion was held and no action was taken. As to A2, no reports from the city attorney's office.
CM1,
No reports from the city manager's office.
CC1,
No remarks. Thank you, Mayor.
CT1. Monthly treasurer's report. CT1. Oh, it's okay.
Monthly Treasurer's Report for the month ending March 31st. It was
Oh, okay, you guys,
CT1,
one guy running the meeting. Go on.
March 31st, 2019.
Receive and file CT2 or reports from the city treasurer. You got to get your microphone in front of your mouth. There you go.
You could change the mic. Turn the mic.
No, just turn it towards, there you go.
And Public Financing Authority, funds under management, $12,588,098. And total funds under management is $178,100,445. That's the total cash and investments. And again, copies of the report is on the table outside. The gross interest earnings for debt service for the city of Inglewood is $4,601. Successor agency, $37,273, and for public financing, $9,166. And the gross investment interest earnings for the city of Inglewood, $110,241. And regarding the actual investments that have been made as of May 31st, the total bond securities is $49 million, and the market value of those securities is $48,904,380. The difference is $95,820. And again, these bonds will be held to the maturity, so there's no loss actually. And I'd like to mention also, with regards to the total yield curve rates, the 2-year as of 6/24/2019 is at 172, the 3-year 1.69, 5-year 1.75, 7-year at 1.88, 10-year 202, and the 30-year is at 255. And the national debt as of June 21st, 2019 is 22,259, and as of January 31st, 19.9 trillion. And again, President Trump's contribution is 2.129 trillion. And unemployment is still at 3.6. And the U.S. housing debt, total mortgages for the first quarter of 2019, 9.65.
Madam Treasurer, do you need another minute?
I'd appreciate it, Mayor.
All right, all right.
Didn't realize the time had
So
gotten away.
quick and having fun.
And the total household debt in trillions is 13.67. And that concludes my comments and my remarks. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we call CI1, Mr. City Attorney, the temporary moratorium is in effect for how much longer?
Moratorium is in effect until the new ordinance comes in place. I believe it'll be in July 25th when the new ordinance will take effect.
Okay, but how long did we extend the temporary moratorium if
December
we don't?
15th,
To December.
180 days.
So we have 180 days. I'm going to pull CI1 and bring it back for modifications for a first reading and a subsequent second reading. And for this reason, I have been talking to a number of people, apartment owners, tenants, and one thing I've come to the conclusion of what we have here is indeed a fantastic balance between see, that's them calling me now, between tenants and landowners. But our intent isn't just to stretch out the amount of time that people that are long-term residents can live here. Our intent is to allow people that have lived here for decades, 8, 9 years, 20 years, an opportunity to be part of the new Inglewood. At 5% a year, in 5 years, rent will be up 25%. If an apartment owner availed themselves of that, nobody's income is going to go up 25% in 5 years. In California, on the average, people spend between 35 and 45% of their income on housing costs. A truly fair initiative, we called it housing protection for a reason. It wasn't meant just to control rent. It was to protect people's ability to be able to afford to go on into Inglewood, to the new Inglewood. There'll be 12,000 jobs that come online within about 6 years at the stadium development. And by that time, there's a number of people, some of them relatives of people on this council, they won't be able to afford to be here at that type of an increase. I believe that the ordinance needs to tier increases, and we also need to engage in proactive employment development strategies to provide training opportunities targeted at apartment owners that are low income to prepare them to be part of the future. And while a lot of people will say that's not a city's responsibility, I believe we have a moral responsibility to provide. See, a lot of times the words social justice are used, and there's never any operational reality put to that. It's just a concept. I believe that we need to include strategies to enable people to not just survive, but to thrive in the new Inglewood. And so I want to pull CI1. I want to bring it back at the next council meeting with some amendments to be discussed by the council. And so there won't be a motion to waive further reading, and there won't be an adoption today.
You're requesting a motion to be made to pull the item?
I'm moving to pull it.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Aye.
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 Aye. CSA 2.
Monthly Treasurer's Report for the month ending March 31st, 2019.
Receive and file. The Finance Authority's in session. F1.
Monthly Treasurer's Report for the month ending March 31st, 2019.
Receive and file. We'll adjourn the Finance Authority. Any persons wishing to address City Council on any matter connected with city business not elsewhere considered on the agenda may do so at this time. 1 minute.
Inglewood City Council, residents, guests, visitors. My name is Omar Baldwin. I'm a political science major. I'm a nonprofit founder, trying to get it up and going. And Inglewood got me started to want to make change, create a business for change, which was a nonprofit. I'm from District 1. George Dawson. Former ones was, can't remember his name, but he got me started. But I just want to just say, I just want to thank you guys for all the hard work you guys are doing. And with the rent control, because I think the last time I came here, I was talking about the rent control and how it was about a year ago, but a lot of change has happened. But I just give you guys a thumbs up. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor, City Council and staff, Ray Davis, Second District. If I go over a little bit more in a minute, I hope you'll allow me.
We absolutely will.
Okay, I won't wear out my welcome, but ladies and gentlemen, every time I think you couldn't impress me more, make a liar out of me. Maybe you remember what I'd said in the past about this was put closure to it. Otherwise, they'll be back. And it looks like you listened more than I thought to think myself. It's where 25% over a 5-year period, I couldn't afford to stay here. I don't think anybody can afford to stay here. So you're on the right path, again, to the sweet spot. It's where if a person has shown an investment in this city by being here, I totally agree. Set the parameter. You've been here 5 years, verifiable in the same apartment complex, or renting from the same apartment complex owners. Yeah, we need to sit down and hammer out at least a 5-year lease that will allow a person to stay here and, as you said, be a part of what's happened here. Because, boy, I'm a child of the 60s, and I remember a show that the introduction ended like this: to boldly go where no one has gone before. And that's Inglewood, ladies and gentlemen. We're going where no one dreamed we would go. And no, we can't just leave people behind. I'm not for that. Never was. I'm an unrepentant, unapologetic conservative type. But I don't believe in hurting people for the sake of hurting them for a profit. So I hope everybody will support the mayor and the city council to getting to that sweet spot. Thank you for your time. And one more thing. Folks, you've been reading foolishness in the newspaper about this and that. You see the lady sitting over there named Ms. Wanda M. Brown? If you ever see where she's just disappeared, that's when you know we got a problem. She's our rock, our integrity, and she ain't gonna sell her soul to nobody. With that, I've done enough. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Michael Benbow, First District. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the staff, the whole staff, including mayor and city council, on the progressiveness that they have taken part in bringing the city together. That's absolutely the right thing to do. We're here for the long run. I've been here fighting ever since I've been here for the long run. We've had many things that come that can take us off course, but we stayed with our eyes on the target. We're headed in the right direction, that taking that back and redoing it such that everybody has a clue as to what's going on, and to try to adjust their lives to what's happening in the future. We're on target to do what we need to do. We just need everybody to stay together. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. With that, we'll close public comment. Council comments, Councilman Dotson, District 1.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just got one comment. I've been thinking about this, so it's on my heart, and I'm going to say it. Be careful what you read in the paper. Don't take all that stuff for granted. Please. You got a question about what goes on there? That's why we're here. Just take that stuff for granted and run with it. With that, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week and a blessed.
Councilman Padilla, District 2.
Great, thank you. So I got his extra 2 minutes, Mayor.
You got an extra 2 minutes. No, actually, Wanda got it.
What?
So, no, it's gone.
Hey, Wanda, thank you. But, no, you know what, I just want to say a couple of things. You know, again, this rent stabilization ordinance, it's a work in progress, and we keep talking about how this thing wears on all of our hearts, you know, because it's such an important decision that needs to be made that's going to impact so many folks, whether you're the landlord or the tenant. And so that's why we have the ability to pull these items, to go back, take another look at it, so that when we present something, we can really have another heart-to-heart discussion. We can hear the folks, you know, come up and talk about their thoughts and perspectives of this rent stabilization ordinance. But we want to get it right. So that's why I'm glad that we're not ready, then we pull it, and we get ready for next week or whenever it comes forward.
Whenever. Councilman Franklin.
Yes, and I.
District 4. Oh, no, wait a
Are
minute.
you-
Oh,
are
he
you-
wasn't finished.
oh,
He wasn't finished.
whoa.
He
Man,
sa-
you cut
he
me
sound
off,
he
man.
sounded like he was winding up, but
All right, Mayor, is that you're trying to give me
no,
a hint?
no.
So let me just go ahead and finish with my 5 minutes. And so, you know, I just want to make sure we invite everybody tomorrow. The folks, we're going to have a meeting with our public works folks are going to come over, the street maintenance that are working on this Centinela Avenue project. We're going to be redoing Centinela from La Cienega to Florence. And so we're going to have a meeting tomorrow. We're going to have 2 meetings, one at 11 and then another one at 6 o'clock, so that folks that may be impacted can come hear the presentation. And then they will know how excited we are to see this project moving forward, as we are currently watching La Brea, that project moving forward. And it's really taking shape. And so I want to thank Louis Atwell. I want to thank Eloy Castillo, Peter Puglisi, and all their staff for helping us get these 2 projects done in District Number 2. I also want to say that, you know, I had the opportunity to represent the mayor and the council last Friday at the funeral for Al Williams, a retired firefighter that started initially with with Inglewood Fire Department for 30 years. The mayor and he went back at least 30 years when the mayor was here with the police department. Al Williams then continued forward with LA County Fire Department after the transition and did 5 years. But we had an opportunity to present his family with a plaque on behalf of the mayor and the council at the services last Friday. This coming week is 4th of July, so just remember to be safe out there with the fireworks. Remember, only safe and sane fireworks are permitted in the city of Inglewood. Safe and sane, not those big old things that go off. Those are illegal fireworks, and we're not going to put up with them. So just make sure that you're safe, use the right fireworks, safe and sane, and enjoy your 4th of July, you know, with your family and friends. And be careful driving around at night, because we have kids out there, you know, and we got to make sure that nobody gets hit. Let's see, I think that covers it. Thank you so much. Enjoy your week.
Thank you. And also, the police department has a special patrol out the 3rd
Yes.
and the 4th that are proactively looking for people that are setting off M80s and so on and so forth.
Yeah, code enforcement will be out there as well.
Yes.
Councilman Franklin, District 4.
Yes, I just want to thank the Apartment Association and other landlord investors in our city to come up and share with the concerns you have, as well as the number of tenants that have come, which now has helped us mold this future tenant protection ordinance, so that way we can have a happy medium. And as you can see, that we are sensitive to your concerns, which prompts us to take additional steps for amendment. So hats off to the public for coming forward and making their presence felt. Mayor, I just ask that you close the meeting in honor of Herbert Johnson, who's been a longtime resident in the city, who recently left the state, but him and his wife were very active at the U.S. Vets. But Mr. Johnson unfortunately succumbed to his death due to cancer, and I'm just saddened for the family, and I do wish him the best. And if you'll close in honor of him, I would appreciate it. Thank you, Mayor.
I will. Councilman Morales, District 3.
Thank you. And regarding the illegal fireworks, I want to thank both code enforcement and police who've done a great job in the past few years, because I actually got a neighbor who told me that it hasn't been that bad this year. And, you know, I started to be able to, you could tell it actually hasn't. It used to be Dodger Stadium every night. Now it's every once in a while, which is a great improvement. And that's where we're headed. So I want to thank them for that. Then I want to congratulate Father Gonzalez out of St. John Chrysostom, who celebrated his 25th Jubilee, which is 25th year anniversary, 12 of which he did here at St. John Chrysostom on Sunday. And he's done a great job. He is now moving on to a different church out in Pasadena. And I just wanted to, you know, say that we appreciate everything he did for the parish there. That's it, Mayor.
All right. Want to adjourn the meeting in the name of Herbert Johnson, and we're adjourned.